Today, we're going to share a story titled A Drop in the Ocean. Deep in a magnificent forest, a host of adorable little animals made their homes. One day, little bear Buddy was busy cooking in his cozy den. All of a sudden, a careless moment led to a spark leaping onto the nearby firewood pile. In an instant, a ferocious blaze erupted. Flames lashed at the roof like angry whips, and thick, billowing smoke spread rapidly, filling the air with a choking haze. Buddy was so terrified that his heart thumped wildly in his chest. His mind went completely blank, and all he could do was wail uncontrollably, utterly panicked. What on earth am I going to do? My precious home is about to be burned to the ground, he thought desperately. Just at that moment, little Monkey Breezy happened to be passing by. The sight of the raging inferno made his heart skip a beat. Oh no! Buddy's in great danger. I've got to lend a hand right away, he exclaimed to himself. Without hesitation, he snatched up a small water bucket and sprinted as fast as his legs could carry him to the riverbank. After filling the bucket to the brim, he dashed back and hurled the water towards the fire. Alas, the fire only dimmed slightly for a brief second before roaring back to life even more vigorously. Breezy, gasping for breath, stared at the unrelenting fire, a mix of anxiety and determination in his eyes. Why isn't it working? I can't give up now. I must put out this fire, he thought resolutely, and then he set off for the river again, making trip after tiring trip, his breath coming in ragged gasps. Not long after, little rabbit Sunny bounded onto the scene. Gazing at the towering flames, she was so frightened that her long ears drooped limply. But summoning up her courage, she thought, I have to help Buddy. I can't let his home be destroyed. So, she picked up her tiny water bottle, filled it to the top, and aimed a spray at the fire. Unfortunately, the meager amount of water in the bottle was like a mere drop in the ocean. It disappeared without a trace as soon as it hit the flames, leaving no discernible impact. Despite her disappointment, Sunny didn't lose heart and kept filling the bottle over and over again. Next, little Squirrel Splash also rushed to offer his assistance. Looking at the overwhelming fire, his heart was heavy with worry. Oh dear, this fire is way too big. I have to do something to help, he fretted. He used a large leaf to scoop up water from a nearby puddle, but that minuscule amount of water was as ineffective as if he hadn't even bothered. Nevertheless, Splash remained undaunted and scurried back and forth, determined to make a difference. Just when everyone was on the verge of despair, Elephant Wizzy finally arrived. He extended his long, powerful trunk into the river and sucked in a massive volume of water. Then, with a mighty huff, he sprayed the water out. The water shot towards the fire like a charging water dragon. In no time at all, the once menacing fire was completely extinguished. Little Bear Buddy looked at the now extinguished fire and let out a long, relieved sigh. Thank you all so much. If it hadn't been for Elephant Wizzy, I would have lost my home, he said gratefully, his eyes brimming with gratitude. Little Monkey Breezy scratched his head sheepishly and said, the water we had was just too little. It was no use against the fire. Elephant Wizzy smiled warmly and said, friends, when faced with such a huge fire, the small amount of water you had is exactly like what the idiom a drop in the bucket means. It simply couldn't solve the big problem. But the important thing is that you all had the kind intention to help. In the future, whenever you encounter difficulties, always try to find more effective solutions. The little animals all nodded in understanding, their eyes bright with newfound wisdom.
记得点赞关注哦。